Welcome to Drone Pilot MBA and Drone Business Insider.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something that I know is a make or break issue for a lot of drone businesses out there. How do we actually get more clients and how do we turn those clients into paying customers so we can grow our businesses?
Yeah.
So today, we're really excited to dig into some insights from Tony Marino. He's the producer over at our Drone MBA and the creative media strategist at Aerial Northwest.
Yeah.
So he's really out there in the trenches, seeing what works, and helping folks build successful drone businesses. And what's cool about his approach is it's all about moving away from, those kind of like pushy sales tactics that I think we all kind of dread.
Yeah, like nobody likes to feel like they're being sold to, right?
Right.
Nobody wants to be like that used car salesman feeling.
Exactly. So Tony has really developed this more elegant way to think about selling drone services. It's this step-by-step process specifically designed for drone photography, videography, really understanding what clients need and using that to your advantage.
Yeah. I think that's a big shift for a lot of people because a lot of times, you're so focused on the cool technology and the amazing shots you can get that you kind of forget that at the end of the day, it's a business.
Right. It's about solving problems.
You're solving problems for people.
Yes.
And if you can figure out what those problems are and present your services as the solution, well, then selling becomes a whole lot easier.
Yeah. And this is what I think we're going to unpack in this deep dive. It's almost like, how can you position yourself so it feels like you're guiding people to that yes, because you so clearly understand what they need?
Exactly. It takes the pressure off of you and makes the whole process more collaborative. And I think, honestly, more enjoyable for both sides. You're not trying to force something on somebody. You're working together to find a solution that benefits everyone.
So at the core of Tony's approach, he talks about this idea of need satisfaction selling. So can we kind of break down for our listeners, what does that actually mean? What does it look like in practice?
Okay, so the main goal here is to figure out what a client's top 3 buying criteria are.
Okay.
But it's not about just rattling off a list of questions.
Got it.
There's a real art to how you ask those questions.
So this is where the need satisfaction comes in. It's like in the way you're having that initial conversation.
Exactly. So Tony says, a big mistake people make is they ask these leading or closed-ended questions.
Oh, yeah. The yes-no question.
Right. Like, do you want high-quality images?
Of course.
Right. Of course, everybody's going to say yes to that.
Right.
But it doesn't really tell you anything.
Right. It doesn't tell you what matters to them.
Exactly. It's like, okay, you want high quality, but what does that even mean to you? What aspects of quality are you prioritizing?
Yeah.
Because high quality for a real estate agent might be very different from high quality for, say, an engineer inspecting a bridge.
That's so true.
So instead of these closed-ended questions, you really want to focus on asking open-ended questions, things that are going to get people talking, sharing their thoughts and feelings.
Yeah. So instead of, do you want high-quality images? What's a better question to ask?
How about something like, when you're looking at aerial images, what are the things that really stand out to you? Or what's the most important thing you want potential buyers to see in these photos?
Right. So much more helpful.
You're inviting them to share their specific needs and priorities.
Yes.
And then you can really start to tailor your pitch to what matters to them.
Okay. So open-ended questions, crucial. What's the next step in this whole need satisfaction process?
Well, once you've got them talking, you've got to listen.
Yeah.
Really listen. Actively listen, not just waiting for your turn to speak. And then you want to confirm that you understand what they're saying. So you might say something like, okay, so it sounds like your top priorities are image quality, turnaround time, and making sure the shots really capture the unique features of the property. Is that right?
Right.
This shows that you're paying attention and that you care about getting it right. And it also gives the client a chance to correct you if you've missed something.
It's like that loop, you're closing the loop and making sure you're both on the same page before you move forward.
Right. You're building trust, you're establishing a connection, and this is all before you even start talking about your services.
Okay, so we've got this foundation of really understanding what the client needs. What's the next piece of the puzzle?
Well, now you've got to match what you offer to those needs.
Okay.
But to do that effectively, you need to have a good understanding of what those standard buying criteria are. The things that most clients are looking for when they're considering hiring a drone pilot.
Oh, yeah, this is super helpful. So what are some of those common criteria?
Well, Tony's identified 8 key areas that seem to come up again and again.
Okay, let's hear them. Number 1.
Image and video quality. This one's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Clients want to know you can deliver stunning visuals. They might have specific questions about resolution, cinematic footage, editing style, color accuracy, things like that.
Okay. Number 2.
Turnaround time.
Right. Speed is key.
Especially in fast-paced industries like real estate, clients might need those images or videos ASAP, sometimes even the same day.
Right. I can imagine that's a deal breaker if you can't deliver quickly enough. Okay. What else?
Pricing and value.
Yes. The money talk.
Right. But it's not always about finding the cheapest option.
Right. It's about getting the best bang for your buck.
Exactly. Clients want to understand what they're getting for their money.
Value. Yeah.
They might ask about the cost per deliverable, package deals, things like that.
Okay. What's next on the list?
Experience and expertise. Clients want to feel confident that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
They might ask about your experience in their specific industry, your FAA Part 107 certification, your insurance coverage, things like that.
Right. They want to see that you're a professional, that you've got the credentials and the know-how.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're also going to look at your portfolio to get a sense of your style and capabilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What's next?
Creativity and aesthetic appeal.
Okay. So this is where it goes beyond just the technical stuff.
Exactly. Some clients might just need basic functional shots.
Yeah.
But others might be looking for something more artistic, more visually engaging.
Right. They want you to bring that creative vision to the table.
Right. They might ask about specific angles, lighting, composition, storytelling, that kind of thing.
Got it. So it's not just about flying the drone. It's about knowing how to use it to create something truly compelling.
Precisely.
Okay. What else is on the list?
Compliance and safety?
Oh, yeah. This is huge, right? Especially with all the regulations around drones these days. Absolutely. Clients need to know that you're operating legally and responsibly. They might have questions about airspace restrictions, permits, waivers, insurance, that kind of thing.
Right. Nobody wants to get in trouble with the FAA.
Exactly. And nobody wants to hire a pilot who's going to put their project at risk.
For sure. Okay, so what's the next criterion?
Customization and flexibility.
Yeah. Every project is going to be a little bit different, right?
Right. Clients might need you to adapt to their specific needs and circumstances.
Yeah.
They might ask about custom flight paths, scheduling flexibility, long-term partnerships, things like that.
Right. So it's about being able to work with them to create a solution that fits their unique requirements.
Exactly.
Okay, and what's the final criterion on this list?
Competitive advantage.
Okay, so this is how they see drones helping them get ahead in their field.
Exactly. Clients might be looking for ways to differentiate themselves from their competition. They might ask about how your drone services can help them attract more customers, showcase their products or services in a more compelling way, or gain an edge in their industry.
Right. It's about how drones can help them stand out and succeed.
Exactly.
So we've got this list of 8 common buying criteria. How do we actually use this information to close more deals?
Well, that's where Tony's 7-step selling process comes in.
Okay, let's break it down. Step 1.
Build rapport.
Okay. Seems simple enough, but I bet there's more to it than just, being friendly.
Right. It's about creating a comfortable and trusting environment. You want to make the client feel like you're on their side, that you understand their needs and challenges.
So how do you do that?
Well, start by being genuinely interested in them and their business.
Yeah.
Ask open-ended questions about their work, their goals, their experiences.
So not just jumping straight into, hey, I can take some awesome drone shots for you.
Right. It's about building that connection first.
Got it. So what's step 2?
Determine needs.
Okay, we talked about this a bit already, right? Asking those open-ended questions to uncover their top priorities.
Exactly. This is where you really start to dig deep and understand what makes them tick, what are their biggest pain points, what are they hoping to achieve, what keeps them up at night.
Right. And we use those open-ended questions to guide them towards self-discovery. Right?
That's the key. You're not telling them what they need. You're helping them realize it for themselves.
Okay. What's next? Step 3.
Confirm needs.
Oh, yeah. This is about making sure you're both on the same page.
Exactly. Once you've asked those questions and listened carefully to their answers, you want to summarize what you've heard and make sure you've got it right. So you might say something like, okay, so it sounds like your top 3 priorities are image quality, turnaround time, and finding a pilot who understands the specific challenges of aerial photography for construction projects. Is that accurate?
Right. And getting that confirmation is crucial before you move on.
Absolutely. You don't want to waste time presenting a solution that doesn't address their actual needs.
For sure. Okay, so we've built rapport, determined their needs, and confirmed our understanding. What's step 4?
Present.
Okay, this is where we finally get to talk about our drone services.
Right, but it's not about just listing all the cool things you can do.
Got it.
It's about showing how your services directly address their specific needs.
So we connect the dots between their priorities and our capabilities.
Exactly, and you want to do it in a way that's clear, concise, and compelling.
Right. So, for example, if they said their top priority was turnaround time, you might highlight your ability to deliver edited photos and videos within 24 hours.
Exactly. Or if they're really concerned about safety and compliance, you can emphasize your FAA certification and your commitment to following all regulations.
Got it. So we tailor the presentation to what matters most to them.
That's the key.
Okay, what's next? Step 5.
Trial close.
Okay, this sounds interesting. What's the goal here?
It's about testing the waters without going straight for the hard sell.
So not asking them to sign on the dotted line just yet.
Right. You're gauging their interest, seeing if they're ready to move forward.
How do we do that?
By asking questions that get them thinking about the benefits of working with you. You might say something like, how do you think having high-quality aerial footage would impact your marketing efforts? Or can you imagine how much easier it would be to showcase your construction progress with drone videos?
Right. You're getting them to visualize the positive outcomes.
Exactly. And their answers will give you valuable clues about how receptive they are to your pitch.
Okay, so we've got a sense of their interest. What's next? Step 6.
Negotiate.
Oh, yeah. This is where things can get a little tricky, right?
It can be, but it's important to remember that negotiation doesn't have to be adversarial.
Right. It's about finding a solution that works for both parties.
Exactly. And the key is to stay focused on the value you're providing.
Okay, so for example, if they push back on price, you might remind them of the time and money they'll save by using your services.
Exactly. Or you might offer them a slightly modified package that fits their budget while still meeting their core needs.
Got it. So it's about being flexible and finding that win-win situation.
Precisely.
Okay, we've come to the final step. Step 7, the moment of truth.
Right. And the key here is to make the decision feel natural and easy.
So no high-pressure tactics.
No. It's about assuming the sale, guiding them towards that yes.
Okay, how do we do that?
You might say something like, great, I'm excited to get started on this project with you. Let's go ahead and schedule the shoot for next week. How does Tuesday morning look for you?
Right. It's confident, it's straightforward, and it gives them a clear next step.
Exactly. And if you've done all the other steps right, the close should feel like a natural progression of the conversation.
Wow. Okay, so there you have it, the 7-step selling process for drone pilots.
It's all about understanding your clients, building rapport, presenting solutions, and ultimately closing the deal.
But it's more than just closing the deal, right? It's about building those long-term relationships.
Absolutely. When you approach selling from a place of genuine service and understanding, you're not just making a sale, you're creating a partnership.
And that's what leads to repeat business and referrals.
Exactly.
So for all of you drone pilots out there who are ready to take your businesses to the next level,
Keep on droning.